So the first thing I'm doing is just threading my needle and just tying it. I usually do like about 2 knots, and then yeah. Okay, so you can see I'm starting from the halfway point of the wig because I already have a tutorial up on how I start my wigs. So I just wanted to get to the major points, which is really how to complete the ivy flip over method starting from the middle section. So I just start in this middle section after I've put down 2 bundles already, and I'm just doing the flip over method in this concentrated section, and then I'm gonna go back around and start doing the hair like a U part the way I usually do. But this part I do it like this so that it doesn't get as bulky and it just isn't as time consuming, because ivy flip over method takes me at least 6 to 8 hours to do. So as you can see, nothing special, just continuing with the flip over method as I make my way up into the wig so that I can finish out this wig as Ivy's flip over method. This is the important part of Ivy's flip over method. I know in the beginning clips that I was showing you guys, I kind of showed from the halfway mark of like where I start my wig, but now is the important part is the crown part. So as you can see, I just have this part left open, and this is kind of the part that a lot of people would leave open for like a closure, but instead of course they would put the closure down first. But this is how I start my ivy flip over method, particularly with at least this amount of frontal space, because I like that when I do my hair in the middle, when I don't know, if you go to my Instagram, you'll be able to see, but when I wear my curly hair in the middle, usually I don't have closures, usually I am wearing Ivy's flip over method. I like to have enough hair on both sides. So, I'll be taking this next bundle and basically getting to work. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and just really pay attention to what I'm saying, because a lot of what I'm saying is going to be the importance of how this method is done. So anyways, the first thing of what I'm doing is getting the hair, the weft, and placing it, and using some T-pins to mark it down. So I'm gonna sew this down, this weft, and then probably flip it over 1, 2 more times. So this will be the first 1, 2, 3. So it should be up to at least here. So I'm gonna do that and then come back. Set up right now. But anyways, when you're doing this, you're gonna start to I feel like don't get scared when you see that, because you have like this like box. Don't be scared that when you start flipping it over and you keep working in this box space that it's gonna be too bulky, because I feel like people start overthinking it, like I said in my how to make a wig very beginner friendly video, I think people start overthinking like how it's gonna turn out and how it's gonna be set up, and if the hair is gonna be too voluminous and stuff like that. Don't overthink it, because the hair is gonna end up turning out fine. And a lot of why I did not put this video out initially is because I didn't perfect it enough, and I still don't think my method is perfect. It's just a suggested method. It's just a demo because a lot of you guys ask how I do it. But when you put too much thought into, oh, is it going to turn out like this? Is it going to be too much? You don't have to worry about that, because by the time you finish, you're going to see that it's going to lay exactly how it needs to lay, because by the time you style it, you wash the curls down and stuff like that, it's not going to have that same like extra weird looking voluminous kind of bulky top the way you might imagine, since you're centering so much of the hair in the middle, because there's like a box here that you have to fill in. It's not like that, because I know a lot of people do their U parts and they kind of, you know, they work around the U, so it looks like the hair is evening out, but the same thing is happening. It's just that the hair is overlapping, and you won't have that. You'll have volume, but it won't be like that ugly, nasty volume. It'll be like the good volume that you're looking for. So that, and I like this method better because the blending is easier. All you gotta do is take out a little bit of the front. It's kind of like when you buy like a half wig, but you kind of use it as a full wig, and you just take out a little bit of your front. This is how the Ivy flip over method works. So the only thing about my method is that I do not do any of the I don't do any of the cutting in the front. I just keep working all the way up, and then I work from the front back, which I will show in a little bit. So yeah, I just wanted to tell that to you guys. Okay guys, so I'm back. Sorry, my head is still cut off. I decided that I'm just going to keep going all the way up into the and work in the box until I get to around here, to cut the weft and start from the front going backwards. But I just wanted to say, as far as like the last two clips that you're probably gonna be watching, I really apologize for the lighting. It's really hard to try to film this and capture it the way that I need to capture it so that you guys can get it. So again, the emphasis of how to do this wig is definitely gonna be a lot in like what I'm saying to you. So just try to like work off what I'm saying, because that's really where it's most important. What I wanted to also say about what I was saying, as far as like, don't worry about the bulkiness as far as like working in this box, and like keep doing the flip over method within it, because the importance of what I meant to say was that because it's flipped over like this, and it falls in a way where it's like it can go straight down, and it can also move to the side, if that makes sense. Like it can go down or it can move to the side. You won't run into the bulkiness that you think you're gonna run into. So don't be nervous. Don't get nervous when you're working in this, because it's not gonna be bulky and ugly or anything like that. So I'm gonna keep working in this section, and yeah, so just follow along. Hopefully. Sorry, this lighting is quite terrible. I truly do apologize. I need somebody to work with. So yeah. Where's my needle? You do not know me, but I know you very well. Now let me tell you that I almost done. Thank God, because I've been working on this wig for way too long. So this is going to be basically the last part, the most important part, so please pay attention to basically everything that I'm saying. So in this last little bit of the cubicle, the little square, as you can see, my little square, this is going to be this part of your head. So this is going to be how your bang lays, whether you're laying it to your right side or your left side, and so on and so forth. Okay, so while I was filming this, I accidentally messed up and told you guys that if you want your bangs to hang on the right side, then you have to start on the right side, but actually it's supposed to be opposite. So if you're watching this and you usually wear your bangs on the left side, then you start on the right. And if you wear your bangs on the right side, then you start on the left. I genuinely meant to say that. I honestly messed up, and I didn't realize until after I started doing this that I messed up. So I went back in and I took that front part that I'm working on right now. I took it out and I just went back in because, like I said, I like my bangs to hang on the right side of my face more so when I do wear like side bangs or something like that. So I start on the opposite side, which is the left. So I accidentally messed up. So anybody who is left-handed, wears their hair to the left side of their face, this what you're watching is going to be more so catered to you. But anyone else who is like me, who is right-handed and likes to wear their hair to the right side of their face, just make sure that you start the weft on the left and continue to flip over backwards into the rest of the box that you're working in. I also want to mention that it's not going to be a huge deal if you mess up and you don't want to go back in and fix it, because either way, as you can see right here, when I flip my hair, I usually wear my hair in the middle with this method because I have the versatility to do so. But when you flip your hair or decide to wear it at a side part on either side of your face, it's still going to look completely fine. When you are laying the weft down, lay it coming so that the hair is coming towards you, not so that it's going this way. Do not lay the track forward as if it's about to be a bang. Lay it towards you, ever so gently and gracefully. Lay it towards you, because that is super important in how this ends up being the flip over method. So I'm gonna take my T-pins and I'm gonna just make sure that the hair is laying here in thy front, and I'm gonna sew along. So I'll just make sure that my needle is threaded properly. Another thing I want to note, when I am just now starting, but like when I'm starting a new weft, or I'm coming to the ending of the weft as far as the placement on the wig, like where it like stops or something, I double it at least 3 or 4 times. Like I go through that weft 3 or 4 times so that I know it's extra, secured and whatnot. So yeah, gonna just go through. Hopefully you guys can see. Let me zoom in a little more. I think that's pretty cool. I think you guys can see. So going through, and like I said, I'm gonna go through 3 different times. And I just knot it. So I go through, I have this open space, and I take the needle and I go through it, and I'm gonna do that one more time. And then I'm gonna sew twice. I do the same thing going throughout the rest of the weft onto the cap, except I don't do it as many times. I probably just do it 1 or 2 times. And then because it's the front, I'm gonna do it 2 times, but behind the track I'm gonna go probably like 1 time. Also, when I'm sewing this part, if that makes sense, if what I'm about to say makes sense, when I go through the weft, I go through my weft. I don't go over my weft. I go through my weft and through the cap, and then you see how the needle is coming out through the cap? It's coming out through the cap. This is the cap. It went through the weft and the cap. It's going through. I'm going to bring it back up through the cap. I don't want it to go over the cap as far as the front goes, because then it has like this bulgy kind of effect that I don't really like. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just going to keep going through. And so lastly of all, I just took a track and sewed it into the cap. It did kind of make my cap a little bit tighter, but after a wash or so, it does loosen up. This is preferable. Everyone does not have to do this, but for me, this is how my hair looks so seamless when I put it up in my buns and ponytails. So hopefully this was really helpful. I love you guys, and give me all your feedback.